Hey, what's crack-a-lack-a-lackin', guys? Today we're going to get into the 4 Horsemen on the second episode of Let's Learn Kill 'Em All. Today we're going to dive into the solos. So let's check it out. Okay, so let's check out what's going on there. First we start off with a little bend on the B string, 15th fret of the B. 2 straight, right? Nice and hard. Whole steps. Then we continue with a bend release and a pull off to the 12, up, down, just like that. And then on the way back up, just do the same thing in reverse. So we go bend, release, pull, up, and bend. Then we do the same thing again, coming down. Then we go up to a 15th fret bend on the E string. To a little 12, 15, 14 in there. To hit that nice F sharp on top of the rest of the rhythm. So here it is. So section 2 plays almost like a B minor solo instead of an E minor solo. Now what I would consider this is more of a what's called a Dorian mode mixture. So this first part, we're clearly in E minor, right? Whereas this part, it's not really made as clear to us, and it actually seems like we're in more of a B minor sort of position. So by adding that C sharp in there, we're actually creating more of a Dorian sound. So all that means is that you have a natural 6 in place of the flat 6 of your E minor scale. So if a regular E minor scale has E, F sharp, G, A, B, C natural, which is the 6, it's the flatted 6, D, E, a Dorian scale would have E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D, and E. So let's go back to the section. So here we're starting off on the high E string, 7th fret, to the 7, 10, 7, almost like a pentatonic pattern moving backwards. Then we're hitting that, the C sharp on the 9th fret, scaling down, coming up to this. So that's like a May Re Do on the B minor, 10, 9, 7. But remember, the solo section itself is in E minor, so try, if you're looking at these notes and you're trying to figure out what key you're in, compare it to what the solo rhythm is doing in the background, which is in E minor instead. So coming out of that, 10, 9, 7, and that little ditty there. So we start here on the pointer finger, and we do a hammer-on pull-off right after that. Right? So, okay, we do another one of those. 9, 7 on the G. Then we do this. And it's almost as if we're highlighting an A major chord, but once again utilizing the C sharp. So a 6th fret, 7th fret, hammer on, pull off, 7th on the D, 7th on the A, to make an A chord, right? But over an E type of scale, so that would imply a Dorian, right? Right? E minor to A. So much like the last section, this first lick is straddling the line between E minor and B minor, playing an F sharp and a B perfect 4th interval on top of really an E progression. So if you play that on top of an E, it sounds pretty cool. We have that F sharp, which is the 2, and the B, which is the 5th of the E chord, which creates almost like a sus2 type of feel, which is very pleasing, right? And this next part is a B minor pentatonic lick, starting with a full step bend on the 14th fret of the G, with a nice bend release pull off to the 11th fret, then right down the pentatonic scale, 14, 12, 14, bend and release on the 14th fret for that bluesy thing going on, and then another finish there from the 12th to the 14th to the 12th. So, okay, so just a straight up B minor pentatonic blues lick on top of an E minor progression, which is kind of cool. So here, that's that last part. Starts off like this. So that's a 2, 3, 2, 1 on the 12th fret, right? The 11th fret and the 12th fret. So 2, 3, 2, 1. Then, so we go. So a lot of hammer-on, pull-off stuff going on right here, right? Then we scale up the E minor scale, so we're back in E minor, and we hit a C natural, which is something we're not used to seeing. We're used to seeing the C sharp, right? But instead now we're back at the C natural, which is the proper flat 6 interval within the E minor scale. So, right, and then we come back up with this slidey lick, little slidey lick. 13 to 15, 15 to 17, 17 to 19, 19 to 20. So properly in E minor with that part. So section 4 is a little bit more interesting because it splits off into 2 different guitar parts playing simultaneously. So 2 solos going on at the same time. So for starters, I'm going to show you both parts side by side so you can kind of watch what's going on. So let's take a look at guitar 1 for this section. It starts off with a high bend, whole step bend on the 17th fret of the high E string, and then pulling off to the 15th just before we get into this series of triplets, where we wind up starting at the 17th fret of the high E and making our way all the way down to the 10th fret of the low E string. So we have a long way to scale here. So this is guitar 1, and it's all triplet rhythms, 17, 15, 14, 15, 14, 12. So, and I'm using 3 fingers for both of those. And then I'm using 2 for the 14th and 12th of the high E. And then I have my ring finger for the 15th of the B string. Then there's a double note. So we repeat with 15, 14, 12. Once again, bringing back that C sharp. So this is sort of a Dorian moment as well. 15, 14, 12. Middle finger here, 14, 12. Slide to the 10th. Middle, 12. Pull off, slide to the 8th. So now we're in our position here. So, oh, that's more like it. Just like that. So check it out. So that double pick right in the middle is pretty important. So that continues on. So at that 10th fret of the B string, we go pull off and then down into this E minor position, and then just do triplets all the way down until we finally get down to this low D on the E string, 10th fret. Okay, let's dive into guitar 2 real quick. So, guitar 2 is playing the same exact rhythm, but branches off into different notes. So, as to make it sound more like it's like a harmony, but not really. It just feels like it expands on the guitar solo a little bit more, gives a little bit more atmosphere as it's moving. So, let's check it out. So it starts off exactly the same, almost as if it's doubling the other guitar solo. Except here, it's staying on one string. So we have our 3 fingers on the first one, 2 fingers, slide, 2 fingers, slide, 2 fingers, slide. Take a look at that note right there. C natural. And in the other part, they're hitting a C sharp. So really, they're doing 2 modes at once, which is very strange, but cool. And then we come here, continuing down. Okay, so doing the E minor scale. And once we hit this, we hit the B string back to the E, down. And we're coming back to the C sharp after that. So, C natural, C sharp. So it's an Aeolian and a Dorian mode at the same exact time between both of the guitars, going in and out of that. So I think that's pretty awesome. Most definitely done on accident, but whatever, doesn't matter, it's cool. Section 5 follows suit with the last section, as in it has 2 guitars playing at the same time. It begins with a part that's almost like a double, and then it splits off a little bit later in the section. So let's check that out, both parts. For the first section, guitar 1 and guitar 2 are absolutely identical, so there's no difference between them. So let's take a look at that section. So really it's an alternate picking pentatonic scale ascending up. So we have this pattern based around the 14th and the 12th fret of the A string, moving up to the D, 14, 12, 14, moving up to the G, moving up to the B, coming up to the 15th, all E minor pentatonic, right? So and right at the end of that, the tail end of the ascension, we're doing a tremolo picking spaz out pattern right in there. And 3 bends at the 15th fret to cap it off. So we have this 14-12 ascending pentatonic pattern until we get all the way up to the 15th fret of the high E, where we start our tremolo picking between the 15th and the 12th. And then after that, 15-12 again. So bend, bend, bend. And we get into this repetitive motion going through between the 15th and the 12th fret and the 15th of the B string as well. So we're going double pull off, 15-12 from the B to E, double pull off, and the best way to feel this part out is just, you keep playing that repetitive, right? Until you run out of time. And then once you run out of time, you hit those 3 bends and you're clear to head to the next section. Now guitar 2 is slightly different. It starts off exactly the same with the 14-12 ascending E minor pentatonic with the tremolo picking, the 3 bend, that part. Now when this part starts, it begins with the same first half as the last guitar. 15 pull off to the 12th, double pull, 15-12, but halfway through it splits and you start playing 17 pull to the 12th, 15 pull to the 12th. So 17 pull, 15 pull, back down, right? And then back to the 15, so you're going 17 pull, 15, 15 on the B, 12, 15 pull on the E. Okay, so let's take a look at that again. 17 pull, 15 pull, 15 on the B, 15 pull, and then you do it. And then instead of doing those last 3 bends like the other part, you do a quick pull off on the 15th and the 12th, and then scale down the pentatonic scale until you get to the 12th fret of the D. This last section also follows suits with the other 2 sections where there are 2 guitars playing at the same time. So let's check out what's going on with those 2 side by side. Okay, so let's look at guitar 1. So we start over at the 12th fret of the G string, starting on the minor 3rd of the E minor scale. So 12, 14, 12, G, A, G, F sharp, scaling down to the E, so we're going down to the root. Very legato as well, make sure to play that legato. Legato means with hammer-ons and pull-offs, where everything's very glidey and smooth. So then we do a pull-off from the E to the D, hammer-on, pull-off, C sharp. So we're bringing back that C sharp into the fold. So C C sharp. So it almost feels like it's an A for a few quick moments, and I brought that up earlier as well. An E minor going to an A indicates a Dorian progression. Now here there's no A chord, but we're hitting a C sharp, natural 6, and ending on an A. Okay, so we're starting on G, and scaling down to the A. And then once the rhythm guitar comes in on its own, with the B and the C, you can see my other video for that part, but then we have this sort of depressed whammy bar type of thing, where we have the bar depressed, holding down the 9th fret. Okay, so you have it depressed already, and immediately start going right back down. Then we're going to take a pre-depressed bar on the low E string, switch hands, switch over to the left hand, because if you're playing this song all the way through, you need to be able to get back in here, right? So let me show you what happens if you try to do that with just the right hand. See, it's real goofy, it's clumsy. So check it out with the switcheroo. Left hand comes in, and then you're free to come in and smoothly take over the next part without sounding like a fool, right? Good. Alright, congratulations. If you made it this far, give yourselves a pat on the back, because that's the entire first solo of the song. Very significant part of the song as well, so give yourself some credit for learning that. Now we're going to move on to solo 2, which has some more shreddy sections in it, so let's get into that right now. Okay, so section 1 of solo 2 is kind of just a series of 3-string patterns moving up E-A-D, A-D-G, D-G-B, and G-B-E. And just hitting different frets as you're moving up. Now, it's a very dissonant pattern. It's a very dissonant pattern. Probably the closest that Metallica will ever get to free jazz, as far as I can tell. So it starts off over at the 12th fret of the low E string, so it's implying that we're in the key of E minor still, which we pretty much are. Even though I mentioned in the other video, in the rhythm guitar video, that this is kind of like a Phrygian type of riff with the flat 2. But I won't get into too much detail with that, just so I don't confuse anybody with this. So we have the notes E, B flat, and E. So that is a root note E, a tritone above, and then another tritone above that to make the octave. So a very, very demonic sound. So this is known as the devil's interval, the tritone, right? So it's a tritone. And we just do the same thing on the A string, tritone. Right, so A, D sharp, A. Continue the same exact fret pattern. However, because of the way the guitar is tuned, it's not a tritone and an octave, it's actually a tritone. So D, G sharp, and C sharp, which is actually a major seventh to the first note. So if we were to say that this was an E, which I would say it is, we'd have the flat 7, which makes sense, the major third, which doesn't really make too much sense in the context of E minor, but if we're saying it's a blues, then it could kind of get a pass. And this C sharp right here, which is the major 6th. So when you play all that together, you're actually creating what would be the upper part of an E13 chord. Right? It's a very jazzy, flat 7, major 3rd, 13. Now I might be overanalyzing this a little bit, but hey, it's fun. It's YouTube. Who cares? So the next and last part, the last set of 3, is the 12th fret, so the minor 3rd now. 12th fret, 14th, so you're going a tritone, and then 14th on the high E string. So once again, doing a tritone, major 7th interval. So here we finally see the solos start to get a little more shreddy, right? A little more shredness coming down the pike, if you know what I'm talking about. So after the little tritone debacle we had in the last section, we start off with this little 3-2-1 on the minor. So that's 15th, 14th, and 12th on the high E string. Okay? All the while tremolo picking. And all we're going is, and then 17, 15, 12. So and then when you're done repeating it, the amount of times that it goes, you do those 15th fret B string, full step bends. Right? So let's just kind of dig into this a little bit more. So what I like to do when I'm playing stuff like this is, yes, I like to feel out the amount of times that I'm doing that pattern, right? So I consider that one time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's how many times I'm playing it. I'm playing it 8 times. 5, 6, 7, 8, band, 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 right? So that's a good way to kind of get through it rather than focusing in on every single note and thinking of this as being any different from the next time you play it, because it's not. It's all the same part, just going again and again and again and again and again and again and again. And if you can start thinking in terms of beats, right? That's 1. So you just learn how to count through that and feel the count as you're moving. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or you can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whatever kind of counting helps you get through it is what I would suggest. I like to use the 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, just because I'm used to counting in 4s. So with section 3, we start to see a little bit more of that repetition that starts going on, right? So filling up the space of a longer solo with repetitive parts, only you take a few notes and you repeat them over and over and over and over and over again, like a loop, like a crazy rodeo that's completely out of control, right? Like a bull that's about to throw you off its back, but it keeps kind of going off like this, you know what I'm saying? So let's take a look at that. So we're going with the 12th fret of the high E string a pentatonic pattern, a pretty generic pentatonic pattern actually. So we're going 12, 15, pull off 12 on the B string, and then a full step bend on the 14th fret of the G. Now what you want to make sure you're doing is you're using fingers 1, 3, and 2 to do this, right? So pointer, ring, middle, right? Now the picking I like to use on the right hand is up, is an upstroke, downstroke, upstroke. Or actually no, sorry, up, downstroke, downstroke. So it's an up and it's a double down. And we go 8 times through that. So just like the other one, this one's a little bit easier to count out because you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright? And then once you get it at that speed, you're ready to move on to the next part. So the next part of this section just goes down a standard E minor pentatonic scale once again, with sort of a down and back. So down 3, up 1, down 2, up 1, down 2, up 1, down 2. Now it continues that from the 15th fret of the high E string down to the 12th fret of the G string. So it's an octave down from where you were. Now the change happens once you get here, where it goes up 1 note on the 14th fret here, so, and then all the way down the pentatonic scale to that lower G, with a little bit of palm muting toward the bottom, right? So, okay. After that, it comes into this another pentatonic section, but here it's doing that B minor thing again. You'll notice a lot of the times within these solos, especially on this album, is Kirk will start playing a solo in E minor and then come down a 4th or up a 5th to that corresponding pentatonic scale. So if here is playing in E, right? That's all in E. Here he's coming to B minor. Right? And it's just scaling up and doing 3 bends on the 9th fret of the G string. So you start off with a hammer on that. And then beyond that, you're kind of palm muting and just letting the pick ride through that whole pattern. Until you get to the little break on the bend. Okay, so this section, as you can see, we're getting into even more spazzy territory. So we're really going with like a, you know, if you were to try to sing this at a karaoke night, you'd look like a drunken fool. So don't do that. Anyway, so let's take it seriously now, okay? There's no time for joking on this place here. There's no time for joking on this channel. Just shh, calm down. Just calm down. So we're coming in here out of the other lick, right, with that. And we're doing sort of a slide in anticipation of what's about to come. All tremolo picked into the 19th fret of the high E string. And then we're going into the 22nd fret alternating until finally 2 big bends on the 22nd fret to get that nice high soaring E. So a total of 6 times through that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bend, soar like an eagle into the night through the mountains, right? or whatever you want to do. It doesn't matter. It's just a bend. It's just a guitar. So now the next part coming out of that is just some more pentatonic stuff. So it harkens back to the idea that I was talking about earlier with the E minor pentatonic and moving up a fifth to the B minor pentatonic while you're playing in the same key. It's kind of a cool device here, especially for this album. It really defines the sound of the lead guitars on this one, of Kill 'Em All. So here it is. We're going with this down and back. Alright, so let's kind of break that down a little bit. You're going down 3 in the pentatonic, B minor pentatonic, at the 22nd fret. Right? Down 3, and then you're always going up 1 in between. So down 3, up 1, down 2, up 1, down 2, up 1, and then up, right? So and that last time you go down all the way through the scale to the root note. So, and then with the 3 bends coming out of it. Sucked. Try it again. Full speed section 5. Alright guys, we're in the last leg of the journey here. You gotta make it past this last section because you came this far. Alright? I'm not gonna give out participation awards if you stop now. And I don't give out participation awards. You have to play the solo the right way in order to get a golden star. That's right. I'm an old school teacher. I hold my students accountable. So let's get into this. So we're sliding into the B string, 14th fret. Now we're getting back into that Dorian feel that I was talking about earlier with that C sharp. Okay, so this is it's like an E pentatonic, but we're adding a C sharp into it. So you're sliding into the 14th fret of the B, going to the 12th of the E, and then we're doing a double pull off from 15 to 14. So that's a very classic rock and roll type of thing. You know, I talk about Chuck Berry all the time with this kind of stuff, but that's another sort of thing. It's coming in there with our flat 7 and our major 6. Now the flat 7 and the major 6 happens here. Right? Just like that. You see that? Alright, so that's another repetitive part that kind of keeps coming back as well. So, just so you know what's going on there. Now, the next part is actually pretty simple. It's just a triplet rhythm. Looking at, I guess you can call them arpeggio patterns. They're only 2-note patterns though. So we're starting here at the 19th and the 15th of the high E string, and we're pulling off to the open. Okay, and we're doing it 8 times, coming down 17, 14 with the same exact thing. 7, 14, open. 3, 4, and then up to the 22nd fret to the 19th. Alright, so we have okay, so we have a pattern of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A pattern of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A pattern of 4. until we hit the final high bend into the high E, the high E, you know, the 24th fret, that infamous 24th fret. Alright, so that's the entire solo, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it informative first and foremost. So if you like what you see, please like, comment, and subscribe, and ring the notification bell. I know everybody hates hearing that, but I gotta say it. I gotta say it. You can also go to my website, www.romanovamusic.com, where I'm offering private lessons, virtual private lessons. If you're within a reasonable distance of me, we can even arrange to meet up and do lessons that way. I have my store, all my original music and my bands are up there, so you can check that out. And also, if you want to become a patron, go to the Subscribe Star link that I have in the description down at the bottom, and you can get it there. Alright guys, that's it for this one. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.